Welcome back to my channel. I'm Maggie Ostara, and I'm delighted that you're here. I am a human design and a quantum human design expert, and I am the creator of the 8 Pillars of Feminine Sovereignty. Welcome. Today's video is about busting some myths about the 5 human design and quantum human design types. Let's go ahead and dive in and talk about the manifestor. So generally with traditional human design, they always talk about the manifestors first. Usually when I do videos or trainings about the types, I start with generators because generators are the largest percentage of the population. I think we're about almost 40% of the population, okay? And manifesting generators are about 30% of the population. Manifestors are only 8 to 9% of the population. Projectors are 20%, and reflectors are 1 to 2%. The explanation that I have heard is that because they get this creative impulse and they're the only type that's designed to initiate, is that they engage with life and they create waves of energy for the rest of us to respond to, right? This is the story of the lore about manifestors in human design. The thing I want to bust, the myth I want to say, is it's not the best thing for manifestors most of the time simply to get an impulse and then go act on it. Because the truth is it's not really great for anybody, whether you're a manifestor or not. Every type does well to have periods of waiting or periods of pause or periods of consideration for them. And the manifestors are the same. When I have known manifestors, they do really well if, they want to be tuning in to what are the creative impulses that are coming their way, right? What's the energy that is wanting to get expressed through them? But timing is important for manifestors, just like it is for everybody else. And so doing it at the right time with the right people in the right situation, because I've known some manifestors who were a little bit like bulls in a china shop, because they came in and they had those impulses and they kind of got in your face and were, telling you what you should do or who you should be or whatever. It's an unpleasant situation, even if it's coming from a manifestor. So in that situation, it's like, pause, be inside your own body and not coming at other people, right? Because manifestors are known for having that kind of aura, that kind of projecting aura, right? It's not a pleasant thing to experience sometimes when a manifestor comes at you with that aura. So I get that it's supposed to protect them from people trying to stop them from doing what they're doing. But you have to remember, some of this is really old school, right? This idea. It's based on an idea of manifestors being like Napoleon, right? Ra used to talk about like that's the kind of leader that manifestors could be. It would be like, the leaders of the past who were basically autocrats. I mean, they were authoritarian, right? They were not part of a democracy. So manifestors living in a new world that has democracy as a baseline for how we engage with each other, right? And really the new world leader, if you will, which is the Gate 31 in my playbook. And so manifestors, just like everybody else, can do well by paying attention to the situation, the person. Is it the right time? How am I expressing myself? Am I just like a bull in a china shop and I'm just barreling over everything and pushing everything out of my way? Are we going to celebrate that in manifestors? No. Like manifestors just need to learn to be in the world with other people and acknowledge and appreciate other people as well. And that will enrich their life too, because sometimes manifestors get really lonely if they are doing that bull in the china shop thing, right? Then there's also manifestors who don't take action on their creative impulses because they've been told to not do that and that they needed to ask permission and that who do they think they are? They can get up and run away and do all that, right? If you're a manifestor and you're like, I don't know if I should, I feel like I shouldn't do that, right? You want to be able to pay attention to what's going on there and give yourself the time to check it out and see what the genuine impulse is for you. And then see what's happening with the people around you and be able to discern and make the distinction between people who are just trying to control you and people who are uncomfortable because you've got this energy that you want to go forward with, right? And people who want to protect you, for example. They want to keep you from from doing the things they think are going to be dangerous. Now, obviously, this makes more sense when you are the parent of a manifestor. And Ra used to say that, actually. He was like, yeah, like we need that because as a child, as a manifestor, it's good for us to ask permission until we understand the dangers of the world, right? But then as you grow up as a manifestor, you don't need an adult to be doing that for you anymore. And yet there's ways that people around you can still get triggered by you moving forward without letting them know or without being in dialogue with them. Ra even said that this strategy to inform, right, is not really even a strategy. It's just a way that manifestors can operate in the world so that they have better relationships. And I would even say, yeah, informing is one thing. It's not necessarily about asking permission, because that makes manifestors crazy. And they do like to run with those creative impulses when they get the sense that it is the right time in the right situation, right? And so we don't want to tell manifestors or have manifestors not feel like that's their role, because it is. But at the same time, recognizing if you're in relationship with other people, that you want to be able to have dialogue with them to create situations that work for everybody, right? And I did do a reading and some work with a woman once who was actually she was a manifestor, she's married to a manifestor. And I asked her, how's that work for you guys? She goes, it's really helped us with our communication, because now we realize we have to really be communicating with each other a lot. We're not asking permission so much, but we are in active communication with each other on a regular basis, so that we're informing, but we're also adjusting and we're navigating. We're two adults, we've got two kids, there's a lot going on. And so we need to coordinate. We need to be aligned. We need to be in agreement. And she's like, yeah, every once in a while, one of us wants to do something, the other one's not so happy about it, and maybe we will do it, right? And then we get to be with that too. But we're not just blindly running with that creative impulse, right? And not paying attention to what's happening to other people in our lives. Manifestors, yes, they do have that creative impulse. Yes, it's nonverbal. Yes, sometimes they do want to just run with it, and that's not a bad thing. And they also live in the world with other people. And so for them to recognize that to be in right relationship with other people in the world, it's not that they want to diminish that or reduce it or say it's wrong or anything, but to also be able to pause, right? Because pausing is good for everyone. Be able to pause and discern. Because ultimately, that's going to help any manifestor get more of what they want when they do that. If they've been conditioned to, to go ahead and move forward and just make it happen, or if they've been conditioned not to because somebody wasn't okay with that. Whatever their conditioning is, the more discernment that they have, the more observation that they have, the better they are at reading a situation that they are. I had a good friend who was a manifestor once, and he used to talk about trying to read the tea leaves, right? He would be like, is it the right time? I've got this thing I want to do. Is it the right time? And he was really engaged with his ability to discern right timing for the projects he was doing. He wasn't just barreling forward with it. He could sometimes be a bit of that bull in a china shop. I didn't like that part very much. But the other part really helped mitigate those tendencies that he had. So that's our myth busting for manifestors. Okay, many blessings. Much love.